So we have Ben and Brandon who are already XO, so they drew in. Our unfortunate third XO is our lovely buddy Charles, who is facing off against Sinway right now, who is 2-1. So he is not inclined to draw in, unfortunately. Ooh, wait.
I say, there, I
frozen.
swear.
There.
Haha! We've already gotten a couple of turns under our belts here. Charles is going to be playing his patented Azorius Control deck, which is 3-0, not 2-1. So that's just me jumping the gun as to thinking who we were getting on stream this round. Going up against Sinhui on the right-hand side. And Eric, I heard some unfortunate news about Sinhui's deck, which is actually more Boros than straight red with these lands on the play. But
yeah, you lied to me.
I hear that there is no ball lightnings anymore in Sinhui's deck.
Yep. Can we have a moment of silence, please, for Ball Lightning? All right, anyways, moving right along. Looks like we got an Emberheart Challenger and a Bolt Wave coming out of Sinway's side. So Charles is going to take that Bolt Wave damage here down to 14 as we are catching up a little bit. Wait, this is reversed, right?
I believe, yeah, Charles should be on that side. So let's bump up Sinhui's life a little bit since it was just a shock land, and we'll bump down Charles's life because he's been being attacked by a couple of mice here, including the second Emberheart Challenger. One of those got get lost, but the other one is now here and ready to swing, although it looks like map tokens getting popped first. Ooh, Boros Charm. Yeah, these are the innovations that the Boros deck is running as opposed to mono red. You get an upgraded spell package with things like Lightning Helix, Boros Charm, and you definitely get more of a burn angle to this deck.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if we're supposed to intervene there. I think that's just a miss trigger for some way off of the Emberheart Challenger.
The No Valiant trigger?
Yeah, I don't think, because it's just exile off of Emberheart, so it should just be a miss trigger because he just did the Explorer part. Yeah, unfortunately, the lights in the shop are a little bit bright today.
However, we do have the ability to pop them up on screen for you because we can see them in their players' hands, and if we catch them, we can bring them on here. Like this Elspeth Storm-Slayer. That one's just bright because Charles likes to bling out his deck.
Yeah. Good old Charles is a foil enjoyer. He's also foreign card enjoyer, so a lot of confusion whenever we have him on stream. But Elspeth coming down to block the Emberheart Challenger.
Yeah, we had to consult the star charts that was played earlier. There's a Get Lost and what looks like to be an Essence Scatter, which is something that Charles was running at least one of in the main deck. Meanwhile, we have Bolt Wave, a pair of, I believe, mice in Sinhui's graveyard, and then it looks like one more burn spell. We did forget to remove the 3 damage from Charles that the Emberheart Challenger did wind up doing last turn. Now we'll see what Sinhui wants to do. Token in hand could potentially pump up this Manifold Mouse again. See if he remembers the Valiant trigger.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, we do have the Boros Charm that we saw earlier still, so it could be a potential 4 damage or it could be double strike, although Charles did see it as well, so I think he is more than inclined to block here.
Oh, yeah. I think Charles is just going to wind up blocking regardless since these tokens are pretty expendable, but Nova Hellkite is going to get rid of one of those blockers.
Hellkite coming in, so we do have 7 damage coming in. The interesting part here is Sinway attacking face or is he attacking the Elspeth?
Judging by the writing that is going down, it does look like that, yeah, it's just going to be attacking face.
Yeah, because the unfortunate part is Elspeth is going to just kind of run away with this game if you leave her on the board too long. Because I think if I was in Sinway's spot, because Charles is kind of in a spot where he has to try and tick up Elspeth every turn, there's a possibility where you actually go for Hellkite attacking Elspeth, take Elspeth down to 2. Elspeth ticks up again to 3. I think Boros Charm hits Planeswalkers, question mark.
I think it just says opponent.
It's just opponent?
I don't know if it's been errated or not.
Yeah, I always forget which cards actually get errata or not. Oh, it does say Planeswalker now.
No, it does. Target player or Planeswalker. So there you go. That one has been errated as of Foundations, it looks like. So you could wind up doing that. Or the Boros deck, also with the extra burn spells. If you present enough creatures to make Charles have to block, you could go face with 7 damage between a Boros Charm and a Lightning Helix, if you can get that far.
Yeah, more soldiers coming out for Charles here. We do still know there's the Hellkite. Hellkite's still out on warp.
There's the Lightning Strike.
Lightning Strike going face, presumably.
And this is with Boros Charm in hand, as Charles remembers that that's there from being flipped over from the Emberheart Challenger. There we go, taking 3 down to 4. This could be lethal.
Yeah. Charles has so much open mana, though. I would think he has some form of counter magic here.
Ooh, we have land for the Hellkite as well. It looked like Boros Charm Lightning Strike in hand, so we could get Charles down to 1.
Yeah. If I was Simway, I might actually go for the Hellkite line first, but it depends on what else is in hand as well. Because if he has enough to do multiple things in addition to Boros Charm, I think Boros Charm is a good play here. Force whatever counter magic Charles might have. Otherwise, just go for lethal. And then you still have Hellkite as a backup plan.
Yeah, and that glowing card underneath the unfortunate spotlight on Sinway's side, it is a warped Nova Hellkite, which does have the 5 mana available now. If that resolves, it can take out a blocker. It can force Charles to use removal on it, but if Charles does not have any more get loss, he did use 2.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, I believe there's a singleton copy of Ride's End in Charles's list as well.
There is.
Otherwise, the spot removal isn't as good as the amount of just hard removal.
Yeah, let's see. I think someone was trying to force Charles to do something end step, but Charles says, no thank you, sir. Ultimately, Charles is very safe on board now. He knows what he has to deal with, the Boros Charm as well as the Nova Hellkite. So as long as he can keep holding up answers for this, I don't think someone's getting anywhere right now.
No, that's the little unfortunate part here. We have Surveil to the top from Charles as well. Probably doesn't bode well for Sinhui's side.
No, it really does not. Someone getting him down to 4, so close yet so far right now.
This is going to be a very interesting situation where any sort of burn spell that Sinhui draws... Oh, okay. Charles decided to actually surveil that in the graveyard. Yeah, No More Lies at this point is probably not where you want to be. So
because Boros Charm, he does still have 3 mana to actually pay for No More Lies. Simway, I do think, is priced into just Boros Charming here. See if Charles has it, and Charles does have it, it looks like.
So depending on the type of counterspell, too.
1, 2, is it negate? Or is he digging for it with Consult? He's digging for it.
Oh, consult the star charts to dig.
So, looking at top 7.
This could be pretty big, because like you mentioned, if it's just No More Lies in Charles's hand, that doesn't get the job done here.
No, it certainly does not. Oh, scooping it up here for Charles. Yeah, because I think in Charles's main board, the only thing he has for Boros Charm would be either No More Lies or 3 Steps Ahead. But if he, even if he finds 3 steps ahead there, I think it does leave him just dead to Nova Hellkite, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there is a double get loss already used as well, and I think Charles's list, like you've mentioned, the counter spells kind of stretch thin, especially when you're playing the one main deck Essence Scatter in order to deal with a lot of the creature-based decks that are being played currently, and then the Singleton Ride's End, which I'm not entirely sure if he still has in the list. He had it in the list as of earlier this week on Thursday. Don't know if he changed the board up whatsoever. I was talking to him over the course of the last couple of days about his list and noted that the 1 Essence Scatter, 1 Ride's End may potentially be something that he could do 2 of one and 0 of the other. So I might have just talked him out of that Ride's End situation.
No, he does still have the Ride's End today. I managed to pass by while Garrett and Abby were doing deck check for Charles's round 2 opponent, I think.
All right, so good thing he didn't listen to me, I guess.
So Singleton Ride's End still in the main board for now.
This is a little rough for Charles too, because game 1 specifically, you have to imagine that, okay, the control decks are going to know that they have to play against mono red and VV decks, and when it comes to a control deck, you're about as strong as you are prepared for the metagame. Yes. So if you're coming in here and anticipating a lot of VV decks, you definitely have to then concede some of your amount of game 1s to the aggro decks and then decide what sideboard cards am I bringing in, as we see Charles just like flipping over 5 cards right there.
Yeah, Charles, I do think he just drew a little bit, unfortunately, there. Because he is also running stuff like Elspeth Smite, which actually we haven't seen much of this season much at all, in the main board as well. So there are ways to deal with stuff. It's just, I mean, the usual control problem, right? You have to have the right answers for the right time.
I think Charles was also skimping on Bezas in the main deck last time I checked. Like,
I think so.
I think he was up on Meringue River Region and Elspeth's, and then not very high on Mistmore, and then mostly sideboarding the Bezas again, because if you are playing against a non-aggro matchup, the Bezas are not really doing a lot against VVs and mid-range decks like Dimir.
No, they're not. If you go ahead and tap out on 4 for Beza, VV just goes, okay, kill you.
Yeah, pretty much. Meanwhile, on Sinhui's side, the Boros part of the deck does give him access to things that can deal with things like Elspeth a little bit easier. I'm just thinking Sheltered by Ghost off the top of my head.
Sheltered, Get Lost, some protection in the form of like Shard Mage's Rescue and stuff like that. But let's see what he has. I think I see Hired Claw, Lightning Strike,
and a Nova Hellkite, I think, was there.
Yeah. Boros Charm.
That's a lot of cards. A lot of good cards. And Charles is going to start off by surveilling an Elspeth into the graveyard. Digging for land or redundant Elspeth in hand?
I think it's either that it's redundant or he doesn't really need it. Mainly because Elspeth coming down on 5, it stalls out the board, but I don't think it's the stabilization he needs in this matchup. That's not a Meringue.
I think that was also a Meringue River Regent that he popped in there. Yeah, it's got the Omen side there, so unless he's running a spicy one of something else, maybe a Horned Lock Oil. I don't think he's got one of those. But yeah, and then just Seam Rip.
Alright, Bolt Wave on Charles.
Double Bolt Wave.
Double Bolt Wave. Holy, down to 14. This might be a really fast round here.
Lava Spike, but doesn't really have the Slick Shot show off to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Charles starting off a little bit slow with triple tap land, unfortunately, but let us see. You were the Smite Snake Oil Peddler. Akira, this is all your fault.
And it does look like that Sinhui has kind of pivoted a little bit here with all of those spells in hand. Looks like he's gone more spell heavy and maybe cut a few of those creatures. I mean, the Higher Claw's just sitting in hand right now. Or it's like Higher Claw was exiled away, but Charles may have just sideboarded into heavy removal and is now facing down Boros Charm, Lightning Strike, and then Nova Hellkite, which I guess is technically like Ball Lightning.
Yeah. It's Ball Lightning you can get back.
I mean, it's Sinhui, right? So the only reason you probably cut Ball Lightning is for the other version of Ball Lightning. And yeah, there we go. Beza coming in from the sideboard here for Charles. That's going to gain him 4 life. And that's about it, though.
Yeah, does give him a board presence. Gain 4 life, lose 4 life.
Yeah, the gaining life aspect from these Bezas, though, are going to be pretty crucial if the game plan from Sinhui was to pivot more into a burn-style deck. Screaming Nemesis is also going to help a lot against that Beza angle. Charles basically has to take 3 every turn now.
Yeah.
Oh, if you Nova Hellkite your Unscreaming Nemesis, too, that just completely shuts off the Beza life gain, doesn't it?
Are you allowed to shoot your own thing?
I think so. Let me double-check. Actually, it might be opponent's thing. I might be misremembering now. Yes. Opponent controls. How broken would it be if you could do this to your own Screaming Nemesis?
I think it would lead to a lot of players forgetting, because it's not a May. So if you can shoot your own thing, you start shooting down your own guys.
Yeah, man. The only thing it really kills in this list would be a Burnout Blastronaut, so.
That's true.
That thing gives you speed. We do have a consult the star charts here for Charles, however, now has to find a way to deal with this Screaming Nemesis. Get Lost is obviously the most clean answer, but...
Yeah. Unfortunately for Charles, the Nemesis is not an easy thing to deal with. And now Beza's dead as a blocker, so you might as well attack with it.
Might as well, but just passive with 3 mana available. Could potentially be more star charts, some 3 steps ahead. Charles has a bunch of different things he can do, but taking 3 down to 8 might not be what he wants to do if Sinhui is playing burned out deck.
Yeah. Being at 11 and being at 8 are very, very different in this matchup, because you can't actually just go Burst Lightning, Lightning Strike, Boros Charm.
And it looks like it's Sunspine Lynx and Lightning Strike in hand. Or, yeah, Lightning Strike, Sunspine Lynx there from Sinhui, which... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. That's lethal.
4 actually. That's a basic.
Oh, that's a basic.
Oh,
yeah,
now it's 5.
Now it's 5. That's a lethal combination of damage that Charles is facing down. And with Sunspine Lynx in hand, Charles can't gain life.
Nope. So let's see what he's got here. Is this Elspeth?
I mean, he discarded one earlier.
Holy.
If he taps out for Elspeth here, he might be dead.
He might be dead to the Lynx, yeah.
There's Elspeth.
Oh, but then he gets 1/1 blockers for
Elspeth
Nemesis.
can remove Nemesis.
Oh.
the hidden mode of Elspeth, which is exiles or destroy something.
Okay.
Here's Lightning Strike. And then if Charles has 1 mana available, I think this is just GG.
Oh no. Charles goes down to 5. That is Xaxes for Spellbind Links.
Yep, that's it. GG.
GG. Slimway taking it down and probably locking up his top 8 spot as well.
Dang, that was fast.
Yeah, fortunately for Charles, he is XO, so even taking a loss here means that you more than likely can just draw in next round as well, locking up his top 8 spot.